Hello and welcome to all of our Gold participants. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. And we are here with Bryna Sampey because she's going to be with us for our Gold Lactation Conference 2020. That's right, it's right around the corner. And we are starting our interviews with our speakers. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to Bryna's other interview yet, then please head over to the website and get some more insight in her keynote presentation. But right now, we're going to be talking to Bryna about what's coming up as part of our main conference here at Gold Lactation. And she's going to be talking about rhythmic movement for breastfeeding function. Now, just a quick reminder for everyone, the conference is opening up soon, and you will be able to register for our keynote presentation, which is with Bryna, for March 30th. Now, registration is free for all of those internationally around the world, and we can't wait to see you be part of the conference. Registration is also open for the full conference, where you'll be able to come and join myself, Bryna, and many more amazing speakers as well. Well, welcome back, Bryna. It's great to have you here at Gold Lactation.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. It's such an honor. I'm really looking forward to this conference myself.
Yeah. Well, we're just getting warmed up here. We've already had a lot of fun. You and I have been talking already about what's happening. But for those of you who are just coming in right now, perhaps just give them a brief overview of where you are in the world and what you do there.
Yeah, I live in the Pacific Northwest. It's really rainy here, and we have a lot of water and a lot of outdoor activity and just a booming arts and restaurant culture. And I'm near Portland, Oregon, and I have a private practice lactation business, and I'm about maybe a half mile from my house. So I used to do home
Pretty
visits, but now we have a
nice.
team. And so it's really nice because we still can offer home visits, but I don't have to get in my car and drive all over the place. So
Beautiful,
yeah,
beautiful.
it's a lot of fun.
um, yeah, that's awesome. One of the things I was going to ask you personally about is why you have so many birds in your backyard.
Yes, I forgot to talk about my chickens.
Yeah,
Well, my daughter has an allergy
and
to
ducks.
corn and ducks. Yes, the ducks are new. So the ducks have a funny story. So the ducks came because one of my best friends is a kindergarten teacher in Oakland, California, which is where I was born. And she wanted to hatch ducks in her classroom for a science
Hmm.
project, and can't keep ducks in her Oakland apartment. Surprising, surprisingly.
Go
And so
figure.
she called and said, do you want ducks? And I said, yeah, that sounds fine. I've got chickens. How can that be different? They're so
Yeah.
different.
Oh,
But my daughter's allergic to corn, so we have to keep chickens so that we can have eggs because the proteins go through the eggs. Like whatever a
oh,
chicken eats is
right.
like directly reflected into its egg. And
Oh, wow.
so, yeah, and so which is like horrifying for grocery store eggs now. I won't buy
Yeah.
them because I'm like, I have no
Mm,
idea what those birds ate. And so so we feed our chickens a special feed that's corn and soy free so that she
wow.
can
Wow. Well,
eat
that's
eggs.
great. I did wonder why we had chickens, and I mean, I know a lot of people are doing sort of small farm and then the ducks as well. So, but good for
Right.
you. Nothing to do with really your lactation field, but I
Not at
feel like
all.
you do have four children that you're raising there, and I know that they'll probably love having that experience as they're growing up, and that's wonderful. So there's a little bit about Bryna and insight to what her life looks like there, just outside Portland, and it's just lovely to hear some of the things that you do with your family, Bryna. That's just lovely. So let's talk. I wanted to ask you a few questions. So if you haven't read Bryna's bio yet, you should jump on that and have a quick look, because it's very interesting. Your journey hasn't been linear. And
No.
so I don't think, anyways, looking at your background, marine chemistry, did I get that right? Is that what you
Yes.
did? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I've even really seen that. Marine biology I've seen a lot, but marine chemistry a little bit different, I'm assuming. So tell me a little bit about why you started in that area and what happened to the switch over to lactation.
Yes. It's nothing about me is linear. um, but marine chemistry was, well, I when I was deciding what I wanted to do, right? When you're, all of 17 years old, you have to plan out your entire life. And
Yeah.
and which I think is so odd. But there we were, and I'm like, well, maybe I want to go to photography school. Maybe I want to do this, and I was really active in theater. I don't know if you can
Hmm.
tell, but I was definitely a theater kid. And and I stumbled upon this program at the California State University of Monterey Bay, which was a brand new college at the time,
Hmm.
dating myself, and it they had an Earth Systems Science and Policy major, and so there was marine chemistry, and so I was at another school, and I decided to transfer, and I
Hmm.
transferred first into the local community college, Monterey Peninsula College, and then got all of the credits I needed to switch majors from theater to marine chemistry because there's so much about the ocean. The thing that really inspired me actually is I've always loved the Monterey Bay Aquarium and I've always loved Monterey, and so I was like, I can go to school there? Like, yes, it's amazing. And and my friend from high school at the time, who's now my husband, was going, and so I talked to him about he was doing the same
Hmm.
program, and I talked to him about it, and I was reading something. I think it was Bob Ballard's book. He's the one who discovered the Titanic, the wreck of the Titanic.
Right. Yeah.
And he said we know more about outer space than we do the ocean,
Right.
and
I've
there's
heard
so
that
much.
before.
Yeah, and I was shocked because I didn't
Right.
realize that, and I wanted to be able to go into a field where there was a lot to be discovered. I didn't want to
Sure.
be told what to do and what to think,
Yeah.
and so that was the same thing that pushed me into lactation. Was that when I started learning about how to breastfeed because my daughter was an unexpected surprise while we were both still in school.
Right.
And so we said, well, let's go for it. Let's go for it. This sounds like an adventure. So
Sure.
we had her, and I was, of course, in researcher mode during the pregnancy. And I'm sure you've met clients like that. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, I had a million questions for my lactation consultant, who my pediatrician sent me to because he was like, "You have so many questions about breastfeeding that is that's not my job. Here's the lactation consultant's number. Call her."
Good
So
job, pediatrician.
yeah, I loved him. And then she said, I could teach you how to do this. I could train
Hmm.
you. And that was before there were programs. The UCSD
Wow.
extension program was,
Yeah.
I think, got up and running the next year. And
Right.
so it was I had to make this huge leap. I had to
Mhm.
decide to leave my program and then go into lactation, which was like this like uncharted waters, you know.
Yes. More uncharted territory.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a wild thing. My whole family was like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And it's in the medical field, so all right. So yeah, no, yeah.
And so here we are.
Here we are, and
Yeah.
I've brought my chemistry brain with me into lactation, which has gotten me in trouble more than once, but I think it's overall been pretty helpful. So
Yeah,
I
no,
just love it.
absolutely. Well, it's certainly, I think, I mean, from my point of view, I mean, what a gift you are to our community,
Oh,
because
thanks.
I know, again, there are many people teaching on this topic, but I think that one of the things that I respect about you is the way that you actually communicate. So, and the way that you have the ability just to speak to so many people in a room at the same time. So all different learners, different levels of learning, different experiences. And that was something that, that I heard, or I've spoken to since the lactation consultants that were in the room. There were people that were brand new, who were still students, and there were people that had been in the field for 30 years. And each and every one of them took something away from your presentation. So I know that that's a guarantee. When people listen to you here at Gold Lactation, they will learn something, regardless of where they are on their journeys. And that's real giftedness, Bryna. So just so you
Thank
know, that's
you.
something that people share about you, and I wanted you to know that,
Thank you.
because I think it is sort of a unique giftedness. It's not just about knowledge, but it is about how you're communicating, and of course the passion that runs very deep. This is something that you've really gravitated to and just love and hold on to and practice
Yeah,
with your children, as you mentioned.
I do.
So it isn't just for babies, but it's made a big difference, right, in terms of management and care of our infants. And so tell me a little bit about rhythmic movement. What would that mean, and how does, how is that going to be interpreted? I just need a little synopsis of what to expect when I come and listen to you in this presentation.
Fair, and that's incredibly difficult.
Just a
Um,
smidge, that's right.
I'm going to do my best to keep it distilled. That's what Einstein said that, right? If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it enough.
Yeah.
So rhythmic movement is really the concept of using movement to speak to our brains. So our brains understand rhythm and they
Hmm.
understand pattern, and our brains already use movement to help us learn. Our whole motor planning cortex and our whole cerebellum is devoted entirely to learning from movement.
Hmm.
And so what we do is we sort of just work with the system that we already have, and we speak the brain's language to help the brain to reorganize in a way that's beneficial to the baby, to be able to express the reflexes they need to express to reach their
Hmm.
next milestone. And
Wow.
yeah, our reflexes keep us alive when we're babies, and so they really are super important. And so keeping those
Yeah.
keeping those working and helping those to work better is only going to benefit the
Right.
breast or chest feeding relationship.
Yeah. Well, and this is something, so again, this makes a lot of sense. It's not, it's really interesting because when you start hearing what Bryna has to say, so for those of you listening in, do come and join us for the full presentation. But once you start listening to this, it totally makes sense. It's a very sort of natural extension of what we're doing already. But
Mhm.
what's behind it is really is if there's a problem, and then you can reinstill some of that movement and rhythmic movement in order to support what is happening, and really engage the body again to where it's supposed to be. Is that sort of a bit of a that's kind of the Fiona interpretation, but that's how I see it, Bryna. Is that
Yeah,
kind of right?
I love that. Yes, exactly. So what
Okay,
we can
good. We're on
do
the
is
right
we
page.
yes, we take advantage of how plastic babies' brains are, how flexible babies' brains
Right.
are, and
Yes.
we can
Yeah.
actually kind of like hit the reset button a lot, which is what I
Yes.
tell parents.
Which
That's
I
how I
love.
describe
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think, just telling families that today, there's a lot of panic and fear and anxiety and in the
Yeah,
immediate postpartum. And if babies aren't doing well, if they're not feeding, well, they can feel very discouraged.
yeah,
And I talk about the hope incessantly about how things can be changed and how babies can relearn. And this is just another one of those things that they really can
yeah.
do. And I know I've seen families be able to do this and put it into practice. So I'm so excited, again, that we're going to be doing this, that you're going to be teaching us. We're going to have such a good time together. And again, sort of an introduction, but it will build on the skill that we already have. And then maybe for some of us, will take us to the whole new level where we want to engage, at a higher level of learning as well, which will be fantastic. So I,
Oh
I,
yeah.
I really appreciate, all the effort and time that you're putting into this. I have to tell you that Bryna's working on all of her presentations right now. We're getting sneak peeks of what's happening, but I know it's going to be fantastic. And she has all these ideas that are whirling. So we can't wait for her to be part of this conference here. And I know that you're going to love listening to her too. Thank you so much, Bryna, for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't forget, everyone, you can go to the website right now, goldlactation.com. You can register for the full conference. Early bird is in effect right now. And of course, our keynote, it'll be our first day with Bryna Sampey on March 30th. All of you will be able to come and listen to that. That's a free and open access as well. So what a great bonus that you're going to have here at this year's conference. I can't wait to share it with all of you. Well, thank you once again to Bryna Sampey for being with us here today, and myself, Fiona Langsharp. I look forward to speaking with you all again very soon. Bye bye for now, everyone.